Hello, my name is David Edwards, and I'm an elder at Front Royal Presbyterian Church. The worship committee has asked me to do a Christmas art presentation showing paintings from the Middle Ages to the modern age in 12 presentations for the 12 days of Christmas, beginning December 26th and ending on January the 6th, the Epiphany. Each of those days, I will be presenting 3 to 5 paintings on an aspect of the Christmas story as told in the Gospels of Matthew and Luke. We begin on December 26th with the Nativity, and our first painting is entitled The Nativity by the Flemish painter Gerard David. He painted this scene in about 1484. Gerard David was known for his use of brilliant colors and dramatic angels. You can see to the whole right half of the painting shows several angels in flowing, colorful garments and colorful wings. Each of them has curly hair, which is a modern Flemish women's hairstyle of the day, and the rest of the left half of the painting shows more of the Holy Family, Mary and Joseph, illuminated by the Christ child, which is a very diminutive child lying in the manger with Mary in a worshipful pose. Her face, again, highly illuminated by the light that's emanating from the Christ child, a reference to Jesus as the light of the world. Joseph is off to the left, almost in shadows, although he is holding a candle that's shielded by his hand. So you see him in a flamboyant red-orange type of garment, which to me suggests a reference to a cardinal in the Catholic Church. Perhaps this painting was for a cardinal as a patron of the artist. There are 2 shepherds that peer through what looks like the ruins of a Gothic window in the center of the painting, and they are not as illuminated, they're in shadow. And this painting shows that Gerard David had a knowledge of contrast between light and dark, which is an Italian painting term called chiaroscuro, which means in Italian light and shadow. He uses this technique to a wonderful effect, especially when the light is coming from the Christ child, and illuminates usually only what he wants you to focus on, the Christ child, Mary, and the angels in this particular painting. Our second painting is also called The Nativity. It's by an Italian painter, Guido Rainey, which is almost 200 years later in 1640. Rainey was a high Baroque Italian painter who also had a mastery of light and dark and shadow and illumination. The light, again, is coming from the Christ child and it illuminates Mary and Joseph in profile. Joseph, again, is wearing a flamboyant, colorful garment, blue and orange, and that is in contrast with the simply dressed shepherds to the right that dominate the right of the painting. The light coming from Christ illuminates their faces very well, showing young and old coming to worship Jesus. Then the light is also playing on the angels above, and their swirling banners and clothing. And then in the center and in the background of the painting, it's almost a real shadowy, dark sense to contrast with the light in the foreground. This shows, of course, the framework of a stable, and you can just make out 2 cows' heads above Joseph's head. And then on the hillside, it looks like more shepherds are coming to worship Jesus. The third and final painting for this first presentation is called The Nativity by Philippe de Champagne, who was a French painter from the Baroque period, dating to about 1648. Champagne was known for his portraits, and you can see the fine detail in the faces of Mary, the Christ child, and Joseph, and in the angels' faces as well. So it's this mastery of portraiture that is a highlight of this picture. He again shows chiaroscuro, this dramatic contrast between light and dark. The light again is coming from Jesus, and by the way, this is the only painting I could find of Jesus in swaddling clothes. The other paintings, the two that I showed tonight and many others, show the Christ child as a baby, not confined by clothing. Mary and Joseph are in very colorful garments. Again, this flowing sense of the folds of cloth was a real eye catcher for many of the paintings of the period. And then the little small cherub-like cherubic faces of the angels and their wings, little wings, and then the adult angels up at the top with their arms crossed as a mode of worship. This painting also shows in the background, rather than all shadow and darkness, an angel that is in the sky telling the story or announcing the birth of Jesus to the shepherds in the background. So this is a birth story that tells more of just the worshipful Holy Family and angels in the stable. Thank you for joining me tonight in this first presentation. I hope you'll continue to join me as we discuss interesting paintings tomorrow and through to January the 6th. Tomorrow's presentation on December 27th will also be on the Nativity, and I'll share some more paintings that I find interesting, and I hope you will too. Thank you again for joining me. Good night.